Okay, so it's time for another Tale of the Dungeon Master. This is the final part of the Apocalypse Squad uh, opening campaign. Now, to kind of a refresher, the party had just been formed, and they just went through an adventure to help the human monk in his quest for vengeance against the demon lord who made him immortal and trapped him in the prime material plane. So they get out of hell, and the party's like, okay, Minerva. Minerva's a human cleric who saw visions. And they're like, so what's going on? Why did you need all six of us? And a little bit of a back story. Minerva's player was actually a person that I went to quite frequently to kind of look at ideas and see how well things work out before I ended up putting pen to paper, even though this was like 2010, so it was more like fingers to keyboard. But I ended up telling my Minerva's player about the whole conceit of this thing. So she ended up telling the party, is like, okay, look, have foreseen this world ending, and not just one scenario. No, I've seen like at least six, and that's the conceit I gave right at the start. Like one apocalyptic scenario involving one specific character, and then I just kind of added on top of that until we finally just kind of decided, like, okay, this. We've tested the limits of the system. We're enjoying it. We're gonna move on and start from brand new characters. But anyway, Minerva says, like, look, I've seen these apocalyptic scenarios. We are the most powerful uh, warriors in all of this planet. Our skills are unmatched. Our abilities are are beyond reproach. We are the only ones who can save this world. Now, I understand if you don't believe me or if you want to go and back to doing your own things for whatever time we have left, but please join me. We can do this together. And each of them kind of sits there for a minute, because at this point these players didn't know the whole idea behind the campaign. Because at that point I just told them, like, okay, I want you to make level 20 characters, and we're going to test the limits of the system. They didn't know about this whole Apocalypse Squad thing yet. Only Minerva's player did. So these players were just kind of sitting at the table, and they looked at each other, and they looked at me, and I'm kind of like, yeah, this is the story I'm telling. And they all just kind of said, yeah, we're in. Each of them giving their own reasons as to why they were in. Obviously, the Paladins was like, okay, look, I'm joining in because this is the right thing to do. Same with the human monk. Sorcerer's like, hey, I've already seen what an apocalypse can look like. I don't want to deal with that again. Dorgal, who I hadn't mentioned before, but he was actually a mountain druid in this story instead of the uh, dwarven barbarian that he had previously been. So that was kind of a new thing for this play. So yeah, they all end up joining in for their own character reasons, and yeah, that's how the Apocalypse Squad was formed. Now, future stories are just going to be as I remember them or as I find my old notes. So it's not going to be like any chronological order from this point. I'll just bring them up as I remember them, tell them as I remember them, and we'll go from there. But yeah, that's the setup for the Apocalypse Squad.